Maverick News presents The Rick Walker Show. Defrag your mind.
Good evening and welcome back, Maverick family and new viewers. Fantastic to have everybody back. We have so much crazy stuff going on, so many things to talk about tonight. Justin Trudeau lost his mind and his temper. He's one angry boy. He practically shoved Doug Ford right out of the way so that he could lash out at a reporter today during a huge announcement worth $15 billion for Honda in Ontario, Canada. Yes, we'll show you what happened. We'll also show you a little bit of protest action going on in New York and elsewhere. We will also take you to Portugal. And it sounds like I have an echo in here from the program someplace. Weird. Anyway, I swear to goodness, yes, I think we do. Hang on. Yep, there it is. Okay. I fixed it. Now it's not so confusing. That was a feedback loop coming from one of our newer platforms, Wimkin. We broadcast live over there now as well, so we have a growing audience on the Wimkin platform. If any of you have ever heard of that, I do not know, but we're there, and they do have an audience. So we're broadcasting on Wimkin again tonight. Not so much on Facebook these days. We've initiated a bit of a legal proceeding over there, so we'll see where that goes, because they've blocked access to our property, our Facebook pages. And it's my position that is actually illegal, what they are doing. So we'll see what happens with our efforts on that front, our legal efforts against Facebook. I'll keep you up to date. Crackhead Barney on the Piers Morgan show. I'm wrestling with this one. Should I show you or not? Should I platform that clip and give Crackhead Barney profile? Portugal, back to Portugal. Choosy, our great friend Choosy. This is a great day for Choosy. This is the 50th anniversary of the Carnation Revolution in Portugal. And I could not let this day go by without acknowledging that. So we'll show you what's been happening in Portugal on this 50th anniversary of a bloodless, did you hear that? Bloodless, peaceful coup that took place 50 years ago to bring democracy to Portugal. So we've got that, and turtle tanks. I'm going to show you what a turtle tank is. I bet you've never seen one before. Well, maybe you have if you've been paying attention to what's been going on with the war in Ukraine. So we'll show you a turtle tank, and then you'll be up to speed on that if you haven't seen one before. So we've got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, and probably more as well. So don't go away. We have more coming up right after this.
Fighting the Great Reset by leading the Great Resistance. Maverick News. The antivirus programs for your mind.
The New World Order. Government overreach. The Great Reset. Mainstream media lies. Now more than ever, independent voices are needed. Donate now, at freedomreporters.com. That's freedomreporters.com. Maverick News. The antivirus program. For your mind.
Okay, so let's start with this big announcement, this thing with Trudeau and Ontario Premier Doug Ford. Prime Minister Trudeau, along with the Premier, made a monumental visit to Alliston, marking a magnificent milestone, rather, in Canada's automotive industry. So what's this all about? Well, here's the scoop. And what the government is saying is a historic proclamation. Trudeau unveiled a colossal $15 billion investment aimed at revolutionizing Canada's automotive landscape. Trudeau proudly declared that this is the largest auto investment in the nation's history. This is setting the stage for a groundbreaking shift, ladies and gentlemen, towards, you guessed it, electric vehicles. So this investment isn't just a drop in the bucket. According to the government, according to Trudeau, it's a game changer. So this is what they have in mind: a retooled plant, an electric vehicle battery plant, and not one but two critical battery parts facilities spread across Ontario. It's a massive overhaul of the automotive supply chain and a big portion of the auto industry itself. But wait, there's more. Honda could be stepping up to the plate with a proposed 10% electric vehicle supply chain investment tax credit. And that's not all. They might just snag an extra 30% clean technology manufacturing investment tax credit. Now, isn't that a sweet deal for Honda? With that kind of tax money going into this redevelopment of the auto industry, this overhaul, if you will, I'm kind of beginning to wonder, like, where's my car? I would say free, but it isn't free. I mean, like, when do I get my car? Since I've paid for it with my tax dollars already. This is massive. They've already dumped, I don't know how, I can't even count how many billions of dollars into facilities with other auto manufacturers like Stellantis, Volkswagen in St. Thomas, and now these facilities with Honda. This is a crazy amount of money. I sure hope it works. If this investment doesn't pay off, we are all going to be on the hook. Anyway, here's Trudeau at today's announcement. We'll start with this.
Va investir pour créer la première chaîne d'approvisionnement complète de véhicules électriques au Canada. A whole ecosystem will be built with 4 new manufacturing plants in Ontario, including an EV assembly plant, a standalone battery manufacturing plant, and 2 plants for battery components. These investments will create well over 1,000 well-paying manufacturing jobs, as well as many, many construction jobs, and of course, jobs all across Ontario and the country for auto parts suppliers. But this announcement isn't just about creating jobs. It's about securing good jobs and careers for the coming decades and even the coming generations. Les grandes entreprises.
So, as you said, this is a massive overhaul, but you know, things kind of went a little bit sideways during this news conference. I mean, Honda, very happy with this. Local politicians happy with this because it contributes to their tax base. It stimulates the economy with our tax dollars. It is a public-private partnership, to be sure. But this happened at today's news conference as well. a reporter who I guess is maybe falling out of love with the Prime Minister and even the Premier of Ontario, or maybe already has fallen out of love. Remember, it was an extended honeymoon for Justin Trudeau, not so much anymore. This reporter was asking for clarification on the number of jobs, direct jobs, and then spin-off jobs, and was looking for some numbers and, as I said, clarification on these numbers. And look what happened. Trudeau really loses his temper here. He throws a bit of a temper tantrum and even almost pushes Doug Ford right out of the way. Watch.
So just to be clear, no one's willing to answer the question specifically. How many jobs are being created, and what is the cost for the government deal?
If you're not going to listen to the answer of it saying 1,000 jobs created, then there's nothing we can do for you.
I just said the spin-off jobs, they said 4,200. I'm sure it's going to even get up probably to 5,000. Multiply that by 7. There's your answer. 28 to 35,000 jobs. Not today, not for tomorrow, but for decades to come.
Did you? I'm going to run that again. Look at this. Watch Ford at the end.
How many jobs are being created, and what is the cost for the government deal?
If you're not going to listen to the answer of it saying 1,000 jobs created, then there's nothing we can do for you.
I just said the spin-off jobs, they said 4,200. I'm sure it's going to even get up probably to 5,000.
Watch his eyes. Look at the very end.
There's your answer. 28 to 35,000
as he steps back.
Not today, not for tomorrow, but for decades to come.
He looks over at Trudeau. He's not happy with Trudeau. You can see he's like, ugh. He's not happy with JT at all. Oh man, that was a moment. See, politicians losing their cool like that—that's not cool. That's a big strike against Justin Trudeau. It shows, folks, that the pressure is getting to him. You can see that he is angry. Yeah, there was anger there and frustration, even with the mainstream media that he has bought and paid for with government handouts for the entire existence of his ruling Liberal/NDP coalition government, and it's not working so much anymore. Even the media, it seems, is turning on Justin Trudeau. So $15 billion for that automotive investment here in Ontario. That is huge. But not everybody is happy about it. The federal Conservative cabinet has raised concerns criticizing the deal for dishing out hefty subsidies to multinational corporations. And I'll tell you this is a debate that will continue to keep tongues wagging for quite a while. So buckle up, Canada, because Honda is revving up to hit the ground with a whole lot of government money in its back pocket, our money, as they plan to kickstart their operations by 2028. And they could churn out, I believe it is, about 250,000 vehicles every single year. That's the capacity that they will have once these upgrades and conversions are completed and the construction is finished at these 4 separate facilities in Ontario for Honda. Huge announcement, the biggest investment in the automotive industry by government in Canadian history, in real terms, even when adjusted for inflation. And remember, this is just a portion, a fraction of what the federal government is actually investing in the electrification of the auto industry, because they have also reached deep into our pockets to pull out billions and billions of additional dollars to hand out to the other automotive companies and related companies to completely transform the automotive industry and the automotive supply chain. So as I say, stay tuned. We will keep you updated on the electrification of the auto industry, and we will update you on more of today's top news stories when we come back on the other side of this.
The information war is raging. Truth without integrity is worth nothing. Maverick News. Because those who have power and those who seek it must be held accountable.
The world is watching.
Join our family of truth seekers. Donate today and add your voice to the chorus of Maverick Knights. Donate at maverickdonations.com. Truth. Integrity. It's the Maverick way. Maverick News. The world is watching.
Maverick News. The world is watching.
Okay, also we have a whole new chapter in the Maverick Knights graphic video series, which, I know that I'm sure you've been enjoying it. I hope you have anyway, as much as I have been enjoying putting them together for you. So tonight it will be the Carnation Revolution episode to pay tribute to today's 50th anniversary of the Carnation Revolution. Now, we'll get to that in just a little while, but first, I wrestled with whether we should even show Crackhead Barney here on the program, but Crackhead Barney has gone viral. Crackhead Barney is one heck of a crackhead, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you, this is so American. Ha! Oh, man. Crackhead Barney. Pro-Hamas, pro-Palestine, pro-craziness. Crackhead Barney confronted Alec Baldwin. That's where everything really seemed to go crazy. I'm sure you heard about the story, but I wanted to look here. If we're going to do this, I want to look at what other things Crackhead Barney has been doing out there, protesting at these pro-Hamas, pro-Palestine demonstrations. Let's see what does it take to go viral online these days. Okay, what does it take to get on the Piers Morgan show? It takes behavior, I guess, like this. I don't know. Oh, yeah, there you go. Uh-huh. Dance is kind of like me. Yeah, that's about the rhythm I have, yep. Okay. What else is Crackhead Barney done to get on the Piers Morgan show? This is from a few days ago. Crackhead Barney interrupting a pro-Israel demonstrator who was shouting, "Bring them home," making reference to the Jewish Israeli hostages that were, and not all Jewish. I guess I don't know how many non-Jewish hostages they took. Not all of them were Israelis. Some of them were from other countries, including the United States. Anyway, this Israeli pro-Israel supporter was interrupted by crackhead Barney, saying that they're not coming home because they're all dead. Yeah, I was thinking about that today. As much as we're seeing all of these demonstrations, all this disruption on university campuses and in the streets, the one thing that seems very absent to me is the mention and concern for the hostages. Well, this was crackhead Barney.
They're coming back home.
Really?
They're not coming back home. Because they're not.
Why not?
They're dead.
Oh, they're dead?
Yeah, they're dead.
You go to the school? What's your name?
They're not
What's your name? Do you go to the school?
They're not coming
I'm
back
going to
home.
record you, and I'm going to get you expelled. Okay?
They're not coming back home.
On the other side. Come on.
They're not coming back home.
Nice. Yeah, right. Here's more of crackhead Barney. Apparently, as I say, antagonized Alec Baldwin at a cafe. I can't say I'm a big Alec Baldwin fan at all, but it was her behavior, pretty weird.
Why are you going in here and calling all the white people in here racist?
No, I'm calling them dumb Republicans.
No, you're calling them racist.
Yeah,
you call the
all
white
white
men
people are
racist.
racist. All white people are fucking racist.
Why are you trying to instigate violence right now?
Because I'm black and I like violence.
Yeah?
I'm an animal. I'm an animal. I'm a black animal. Ah! I'm a black animal. Let's kill all white people. Yeah, baby.
Biden 2024?
Biden 2024?
All right, Joe Biden. These
We're
are
the crackhead Bernie 2024. Crackhead Bernie 2024, baby. Crackhead Bernie 2024, bitch.
Hey, you ever seen performance art? Obviously not, because
This is my manager.
Republicans have no
My fucking manager.
This is called
My fucking manager. Fuck the white
Crackhead
people.
Crackhead Barney.
I'm a motherfucking animal, bitch.
Why?
Is that art? Is that art? I don't know. Is this art with Alec Baldwin? This sort of seems to me like, excuse my language, it seems like the street art version of the Piss Jesus. Here's the episode
Alec,
with
can you
Alec
please say
Baldwin.
free Palestine one time? Why did you kill that lady? You killed that lady and got no jail time? No jail time, Alec? No jail time, Alec. You're putting innocent people in jail, Alec Baldwin. Free Palestine, Alec, just one time. And I'll leave you alone. I'll leave you alone, I swear. Just say free Palestine one time. One time. One time.
Call the police.
One time, Alec. You know he's a criminal. You know he's a fucking criminal. Come on, Alec, just say free Palestine one time. One time, just one time, please. And I'll leave you alone. Free Palestine. Fuck Israel, fuck Zionism. Please say it. One time.
Could you do me one quick favor?
Alec, can you...
Just remember, she's on John's side. Okay. Oh my God. Oh, wow. Jeez. Oh, man. Okay, let's do the Piers Morgan clip since we've gone this far. I guess we might as well. Jeez. And what Okay. This, why not? I mean, this comes on the heels of Joe Biden saying that, what was it, his uncle that got eaten by cannibals? So, I mean, what a week. So this seems to fit right in. The getup and everything, it just, maybe Crackhead Barney was there when Joe Biden's uncle crashed that airplane off the coast of New Guinea.
I my diaper today for you, Pierce. Do you like it?
Do you want to sit down?
Do you see the damage that Alec did to me?
Okay, hang on. I don't want the music, so we'll pick it up over here. Oh, man. Jeez. Okay, here we go. The Piers Morgan clip with Crackhead Barney, the one everyone's talking about.
Fucking Morgan. You're asking too
Just for the
many
record,
questions.
my name is actually just Piers Morgan.
What's wrong with saying free Palestine? Pierce, can you say free Palestine for me?
I think.
Pierce, can you say free Palestine for me?
If you stop shouting, yeah.
I want you to say it.
Yes, I'm happy to say.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm not going to shout.
If you just.
Mr. Pierce Morgan.
If you just keep quiet, I can answer your question. Yes, I'm very happy to say that.
I'm never quiet, Pierce.
Sorry, you're still talking.
I'm never quiet.
Okay, but try.
I'm never
Otherwise,
quiet,
I can't.
Pierce. I cannot
you asked me to
shut
do
up.
something. If you don't shut up, I can't give you the answer.
Oh my God.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I'll shut up for you.
I absolutely believe that Palestine should be free. Yes.
Oh, okay. And how are we going to do that, Pierce? Give us the answers, Pierce Morgan. Give us the fucking answers.
Yeah,
how are we going to make Palestine free?
Yeah, if it was as simple
How
as
are we
me,
going to do it?
If it was as simple as me just giving a simple answer now, it would have been done by now. It's a very complicated issue. But let me ask you again, let me ask you again, seriously, why did you do what you did to Alec Baldwin, and what did you hope to achieve?
Alec Baldwin, look at me. Pierce, honestly. Pierce, look at my body. Look at this. Look at me. Pierce, I was maimed by a white man.
Listen, I understand you're a performative artist. I understand you're trying to make everybody laugh. You've made your joke about your terrible maiming.
Satellite, you're lashing me.
Right, okay, I'm not lashing you.
I was beaten. This is the third white man to beat me this week.
Right.
Third white man. Yesterday, my white boyfriend beat the shit out of me. This is the third white man. Monday was Alec. The second day was another white man. Third day, Pierce Morgan is beating me up on international TV.
I don't even yell out. Yeah? I'll be right back.
Greetings, brave Mavericks. Our quest for truth continues. We go beyond fake news. Together we expose propaganda. Together we pull others out of rabbit holes. We are maverick thinkers. We are all unique individuals, defenders of individual rights and freedoms, credible, trusted, grounded in reality. Maverick News, Maverick News. Defending free speech, free speech. Donate at freedomreporters.com. Do it now. Tomorrow may be too late. Maverick News. The world is watching. Exile. The Knights of Malta. Maverick News. Join us. The world is watching.
So, lots of protests going on all over the place. You know, all this pro-Palestine stuff everywhere. We've got pro-Hamas students storming the Fashion Institute of Technology in Manhattan tonight. Let me bring that up and show you what that's all about. A variety of people there. I have to wonder how many of these young people, not all of them students, by the way, some students, but not all of them, a bunch of them not students. Who are these people? It seems like a lot of them are sort of maybe useful idiots. That might be a good way of describing them, because in some cases they're carrying the wrong flags. They don't seem to even know much of the real information about what it is they're protesting. But anyway, this is what it looked like just a short time ago, as they went into the right through the front doors. Now, you noticed that there were some signs there and some people carrying them who are Jewish. And let me see if I can find you exactly where that happened. It's my understanding that these people represent a small fraction, like a small group of Jewish people in the community there in New York who, and this is frozen, so let me just pull it off, who share some views, I guess, that are not really shared by a wide portion of the Jewish community in New York and beyond. Anyway, I won't get too deep into that tonight. Point is, these protests are spreading across the country. And now something's happened to the audio here. There it is. Now I understand. I have triple audio playing in my headphones. That's why I'm a little confused here. Comes some pretty weird stuff. Yeah, so I guess that group of Jewish people protesting, they have sort of a religious view of this. That, as I understand it, they don't think that Israel should be created until, I don't know, until after some point in time. And I'm not an expert on that faction of the Jewish community, so I'll get more information on it and I'll share it with you maybe later in the broadcast. I have to say, it's been pretty weird watching some of this stuff. Even some of the people giving speeches at Columbia, it was like you might as well take a hammer and club yourself in the skull. Some of the stuff that these people say. It's like, we want freedom from America. We want freedom from Israel. We want freedom. It's self-flagellation. It's the strangest thing here in Western society. I'm watching this in real time, and it has been present in all aspects of our society in increasing amounts, incremental, year after year, since, political correctness and progressivism, liberal progressivism, wokeism really took hold, say, back in the 1970s, year after year after year after year. It's just self-destruction. It's the strangest thing to see people standing there. I literally saw a Jewish person say that they don't want a home during a speech at Columbia, saying that they don't want a home, that Jewish people shouldn't have a homeland, and that they should be citizens of the international community. That would effectively mean that they would spend eternity as traveling gypsies, stateless, no home. Do you know what that really means? It means that, potentially you would have a lot of Jewish people living in existence with no real rights, protected anyway, like you'd have your natural rights, I suppose, but when you're within a nation state, then you have to abide by or live by the rules of another country, and you wouldn't have any of the advantages or privileges that might come with statehood and citizenship. It's a complex thing that I'm trying to convey to you. But if you don't have a homeland, and I'm not saying anything about the Palestinian side, they should have a homeland too. Everybody needs a place to hang their hat and a place to have their rights protected. That's what the state does. That's why I was waving my passport around when I went to Costa Rica on that family trip, that memorial thing that I went on. I was like, here's my passport. This is my ticket back to Canada. And it's important to come back to your home country because entry back into the country means that you have access to all of the services and the benefits of citizenship that come along with that. Whether I just had to go for some medical tests this past week, so I was, did part of the healthcare system. It's not great, but I get to drive on the roads, and this is. But no, we don't want a state. We don't want a home at all. It's just the craziest thing. People say these things, and I think they just say it because they think it makes them sound smart, and it is just the dumbest, most ridiculous crapola I hear coming out of people's mouths. Sometimes I watch these politicians too, these woke politicians who say these things and they do not understand where things go. In fact, case in point, this is a little off a sidebar, but I just noticed this. This is the mayor of Windsor, Ontario, Drew Dilkins, Windsor, Ontario, Canada. And I'm not really familiar with the story, so I'm going to explore this with you on the fly here. This is sort of a local story there, but this illustrates my point about self-flagellation, self-destruction, how the West is committing suicide. He's very woke. I did not like any of the stuff that came out of this guy's mouth during the pandemic. He was out there calling everyone mask holes who, if you were opposed to mask mandates, very, very heavy-handed at the time. I'm not a Drew Dilkins fan. I'll just say that right off the bat. But here he is. He's saying that that the municipality, as an employer, does not have a culture of fear. They've run some sort of a employee feedback survey, and so some people are saying they have a culture of fear. See, this is what happens, man. It comes back to bite you on the butt. All of your virtue signaling, your left-wing wokeism. These people don't realize that their ideology, their approach to just life, let alone politics, comes back so that it becomes self-consuming, self-destructive in the end. And this is where this guy is at now. He's trying to run that city. Windsor Mayor Drew Dilkins says City Hall is, quote, doing a good job with workplace culture despite a new employee experience report that points to employee concerns and the challenge of recruiting and retaining talented employees. On Monday, City Council unanimously supported a retention and employee experience roadmap developed by hired consultant PricewaterhouseCoopers Council also approved $737,000 from reserves to implement its recommendations. Quote, according to some employees, there are concerns with speaking up and expressing thoughts freely. The consultant's report said employees have expressed the continued need for leaders to engage meaningfully and provide a safe environment for staff to share diverse perspectives. Oh no, they want diversity in skin color and and other aspects, but not so much in diversity of opinion. Asked later by reporters about that point, Dilkins denied a workplace culture of fear. Quote, at the end of the day, we don't have a culture of fear here, he said, following Monday's meeting. Yeah, this reminds me of the Ellen DeGeneres scandal, right? Where she was accused of running a toxic workplace. Oh yeah, she dances on TV, but behind the scenes, she's one bit blank H. Oh, Drew. You're running a workplace, a municipality, steeped in fear, according to the people who work for you. So, true colors emerging from the background. Yep. Yeah, here's what was going on at the University of Texas. This is in Austin, I guess, actually. So, let's show what's going on campus there tonight. Oh, yeah. This is America. This is actually, I think, from yesterday. Labeled as today on this feed coming. Yeah, I saw this yesterday. That's nice. Isn't that great? Bottom line is don't get caught behind the line. I didn't see this part yesterday. Can't keep track of all these protests. There's so many of them.
Who are you with?
I'm with Fox 7.
Fox 7?
Yeah,
what's your name?
Carlos.
Carlos, what do you think of this?
I think it's, they were pushing me, and they say that I hit an officer. I didn't hit an officer. They were pushing. You know what I mean? They were pushing me.
Yeah. He didn't hit anybody. They just grabbed him.
We're going to send attorneys to you. Has this ever happened?
No, it's never happened to me. You know what I mean? I was just covering things. And
did you tell them you were the press?
Yeah, I told them that I was the press. This one says I was hitting an officer. I was not hitting nobody. You know?
Yeah, he didn't hit anybody, that guy. You could see it clearly in the video. Anyway. What a mess. I'll tell you. See, and if you just show up at these things, like, you can get caught up in it, even if that guy's just there trying to do his job. He's working, right? Goes into work that day at the TV station, Channel 7, local newsroom. Hey, get down there, big protest, take that camera, get your butt down there. So he goes down to do his job, ends up in the slammer. Occupational hazard, I suppose. Oh, Lori said the other day that what they should do to get rid of the protesters is turn on the sprinklers. And I think that it looks like that's what they did in Florida. Okay, here, take a look.
Dude, I love he's wearing his Jewish star too.
Yep. Yeah. So where is this one? I don't even know. Does it matter? They all look the same. That just, whatever, man. Okay, let's bring this one up. Here we go. I'm not familiar enough with these campuses because I haven't been to them, so I can't tell exactly where this one is. Oh, man. What else do we have here for you? I think in Boston things got pretty dicey too, but this is in Italy. Big protest there today. I think it's today. This was just posted, so I'm going to say this is today, but with all this stuff that's online, it's difficult, honestly, to know what it is that you're being fed or what people send me. Okay, this is Milan, Italy. There you go. All these things going on all over the world. Crazy stuff. Okay, hang on. I'm going to come back. Don't go away. There's more ahead.
Maverick News. The world is watching. Greetings, brave Mavericks. Our quest for truth continues. We go beyond fake news. Together we expose propaganda. Together we pull others out of rabbit holes. We are maverick thinkers. We are all unique individuals. Defenders of individual rights and freedoms. Credible. Trusted. Grounded in reality. Maverick News. Maverick News. Defending free speech. Free speech. Donate at freedomreporters.com. Do it now. Tomorrow may be too late. Maverick News. The world is watching. Maverick News. Fighting for freedom.
Okay, so thank you, because someone just alerted me that, Ezra Levant actually has an explanation that I was trying to convey to you, but he, more learned than I am on this subject, can explain what it is I was trying to tell you about these ultra-Orthodox Jews who are at that protest in New York. I'm going to share a portion of the clip from Ezra's report, and you can go to the Rebel News website to watch the entire report from him. But this explains what it was I was trying to convey to you about that small group of Jewish protesters who also went into that building in New York.
Organizers, and there's one weird telltale. You can see there's
Technology.
a handful of Orthodox Jews, ultra-Orthodox Jews, wearing fur hats. They're called the Naturae Karta, a very, very small extremist sect of Jews, not recognized by any other Jews, for their bizarre opinion that Israel should not happen until the Messiah returns. And so they are hired typically by Iran or Iran's proxies to come and join anti-Semitic rallies. And that's enough for the low information protesters here to say, oh look, even the Jews hate Israel. Low information. But of course, as you can see inside the walls, and we'll just walk around a little bit, it's just like the Columbia protest, professionally organized with matching brand new tents. And I don't know how long this will last, because this is, in some ways, a private institution. Will the university administration crack down on it? Hey,
Yeah. So, thank you to Ezra Levant for giving us a little bit of his perspective on what that's all about. Then there was this in Texas. Oh, you know how it goes. It's like in hockey. If you take a fall to get a penalty, to get an advantage for your team, that's what this reminds me of here. You can judge for yourself. Is this woman really being assaulted? I want to run that back again. Did he even touch her? I'm going to slow it down. Playback speed, 0.25. Let's take a look at this one. I don't think he even touched her. Well, that guy maybe did over there. The guy, not the guy directly behind her, but the other guy. See him? Yeah, I think he did tap her on the back, on her backpack. Maybe. Yeah, see his right hand there? He did. He touched her. He touched her just a bit, but not hard. Okay, playback speed normal.
Just go. Stand with you guys.
Yeah. And, you know, I have to say that America's adversaries are having a field day with this. I see that some Russian political figures have issued statements saying that they're concerned about America. They don't want America to undermine democracy by arresting peaceful protesters. So, you know, any way you can gain an advantage in the court of public opinion, right? It is theater. That's what a lot of this stuff is about, man. That's just the truth. I'm just sharing the truth. We're trying to, as much as we can get close to the truth. Here. Okay, what else do we have tonight? Canada. 2 teenagers charged with second-degree murder in connection with an alleged homicide. This took place near the Halifax shopping center earlier this week. A news release now issued from Halifax Regional Police. They arrested 2, get this, 14-year-olds in Sackville. This happened Wednesday night. Now they've been charged. Both accused are scheduled to appear in Youth Justice Court tomorrow in Halifax. Police say they received a phone call and responded to a report of an injured person at the shopping mall near the parking lot, or in the parking lot on Mumford Road around 5 p.m. Monday. They found, when they arrived, 16-year-old Ahmad Mar al-Marash, who was taken to hospital. He later died from injuries he had sustained. There are 2 other teens, both 16. They were arrested on Monday. They have since been released with no charges being laid. A funeral for the victim was held yesterday. The investigation still ongoing. We don't have any other details for you beyond that. But anytime you're looking at a situation like this involving young people, teens, it's especially tragic. And in Canada, we do have special laws in place to deal with young offenders. What else? What's next on the pile of news stories for you tonight? Well, this is something I'd like your feedback on this tonight, folks. In Ontario, in the community of Goderich, they are going to be conducting military exercises. These things are done all the time. And up around that area, they do conduct them in that area on a fairly regular basis, actually. It's an area where I know they've done military exercises in the past. And here's a release, actually, from the Canadian military, alerting the public that this will be going on. They are going to have an increased military presence in the area from May 3rd to May 5th. They did some here last, I think it was during the fall, if I'm not mistaken. So they had some soldiers in the area. They were just conducting drills out in the county, not right in the city. So they made people aware so that they weren't alarmed when they saw the military vehicles out there. And it says here the Canadian Armed Forces will be conducting an emergency exercise in Huron and Bruce counties between Friday, May 3rd and Sunday, May 5th of next month. Goderich residents will notice a military presence throughout town as soldiers will be stationed in the community over the weekend. It says here in bold letters, there is no reason for concern regarding this exercise. It is being conducted to create a more challenging, realistic training exercise for soldiers. Soldiers will be conducting firefighting training, wellness checks, simulated search and rescue operations, establishing cooling centers, as well as other activities. These exercises will be conducted throughout Huron and Bruce counties. Wellness checks, or door knocks, will be performed in Goderich on Saturday, May 4th. Soldiers will be going door to door and speaking with residents to simulate what would happen if they were asked to check on the well-being of residents during an actual emergency. So I'm just curious what your thoughts are on that. Anybody have anything to say about it? Alicia says the Army used to do military exercises at the back end of her farm at the big pond. Yeah. And anybody concerned or any positive comments or neutral comments? Any comments at all on that military exercise coming up next month? Anything? No, I don't see anything in the chats at all so far. Checking over on Rumble now. Al Matched says, W2F, are they doing that? I don't agree with that. What, military exercises? They got to exercise someplace. In some place. What else do they have? Interesting. GTO Mama says, no answer the door. Cabo Gal says, door to door, good Lord. And Alicia Smith says, good. And Sandy says, mental health check-ins. Rick, yeah. Thumbs up. Okay. I know that, you know, when things like this happen, sometimes people do get concerned. Isabel says she's concerned about the wellness check, not trusting. Yeah, well, you know, it's a drill, right? So they're not. When they say wellness check, this is during emergencies, as I understand it. So they're practicing. So if there was, like, say, an emergency of some kind, like a tornado had come through, or fires, or if there was a war going on, it's not so much like a mental health check. It's a wellness check to see if you're okay. If there's anybody at the house, like, are you guys okay in here? Because, you know, there was, a roaming band of rabid dogs or something, all right? And they called in the military to deal with whatever the emergency might be. So it's that kind of wellness check, as I understand it. So they're just practicing how to go to the door, how to interact with people. So Cabo Gal says they can practice at their own house. So what if the Chinese showed up? The Chinese army showed up on your door. Would you prefer that? Or the Russians? If the Canadian military shows up, you don't trust them. Mario says the army is just a waste of money. Oh, okay. Well, let's see what happens if we get rid of our military altogether and see what happens then. I can tell you what would happen. No military at all. None. Interesting. Let me check over on Rumble again. What if no one answers the door? Says Stoic Teacher. So this is a normal thing. Yeah, it is. They do it all the time. They do it several times a year in different places, you know, across the country. So it's just a training exercise is what it is. They're not coming to your door to arrest you or carry you away. It's not even a real wellness check. Cabo Cal says, are they there to ensure our kids have been rainbowed? No military, according to Jesse, says means armed militia. Yeah, Robert says do it in Toronto. Yeah, I'm sure that they do stuff in the cities from time to time as well. Nobody's home, go away, says Lauren. Interesting. I asked you guys to comment on it because I was looking over on TikTok where some of this information was posted, and like everybody over there is pretty paranoid about all of this. Cabo Guest says, "Get off my lawn!" So, I don't know. I don't think you've got anything really to be worried about, folks, but, if you want to live your life in fear, it's your choice, I guess. If you don't want to answer your door, I suppose you don't have to. They do have guns, though, so if they really wanted to come in, and they've got tanks and stuff, too, so if they wanted to get past that front door, I think they could do it. But I think they will be respectful. Which, just brings me around to this, too. If you want to change things, guys, you know where it starts? With yourself. It really does. It starts with us. And when I say that, I mean, we have to just look in the mirror and try to first start with ourselves and make ourselves better, and find out a way to make things better, our relationships better with police and military. And I understand that trust has been eroded, but man, we've got to get it back somehow, because we can't live like this. We can't live in constant fear and paranoia. We can't live in fear of our police and fear of our military. So we need to find a way to heal all that, fix it. It's going to take some time. I don't know if there's any trust left after what happened in Ottawa. I totally get it. And it's got to be a two-way street for sure. But first place to start is right here. So GTO says it's not fear, it's our rights. Well, they're not there to take your rights away. They're there on a training exercise. And she says, we have the right to refuse service. Okay. Well, anyway, don't do anything crazy, okay? Because those guys, they're just out there trying to do their jobs. They've got families to go home to as well. And it's just training exercise, okay? So I'm just letting you know so that you don't get too scared. If you're living up in that area and they happen to knock on your door, that's what they're there for. So don't freak out. Even if you choose not to go to the front door or whatever, don't worry about it. They won't do anything to you if you choose not to answer. I'm certain of that. So it'll be okay. You don't have to freak out. You don't have to do anything nutty. Just stay calm. If you don't want to talk to them, you don't have to. If you want to open the door and say, howdy, welcome to my hometown, you can do that too. Make friends with them if you want to. They're not going to hurt you. Jilly Bean says, Rick ignoring my comments. No, I didn't see your comments, Jilly Bean. I'll scroll back. What did you say? The Emergencies Act will usher in United Nations, as she says. No, we don't have the Emergencies Act in place right now. And with what happened in that court decision, too, I think Trudeau would have a very difficult time justifying or even being able to implement the Emergencies Act again. He'll have to meet a higher standard because that court ruling came down firmly against him. It's being appealed, but we'll see where that goes. I'm not ignoring you, Jilly Bean. No, I value your opinion, just like everybody else's. Sandy says, hello, how are you, I would say. Yeah, see, if Sandy goes to the door, even if Sandy stands behind the door with her sweet voice, she'd just win them over. They would just like melt into a big pile of friendly goo on the front doorstep. They would never do anything to Sandy because she's just so sweet. And Rising Dragon says he would offer them coffee. Good idea. And SW says, we love you, Jilly Bean. And Isabel says, can I have fries with that? Yeah. Yeah, feed them. That's the ticket. And you want to win cops. I see so many people saying we got to get the cops on our side. And, you know how you do it? I'm telling you, donuts. Donuts. It's a cliche, but it's true. Don't yell at them. Don't get up in their face. Just bring them donuts. If you really want to win them over, bring them some coffee too, and then they'll be on your side, man. I'm telling you. And Jennifer Jenkins says, "Can Ahmad ask Rick to let Jennifer Jupiter back in the Rumble chat, please?" There are a couple of people I forgot to get around to reviewing. Jennifer Jenkins Jupiter, right? I don't know, what did Jennifer Jupiter do to get bandited on the channel? I have no idea what Jennifer Jupiter did. Donuts, though, I'm telling you, man, it works every time. Buy the cops donuts. They love them. Like flies to sugar. And they'll be on your side. And, you know, me saying that too, the cops won't even mind me saying it because they want me to tell you so that you bring them donuts. Anyway. And Linda Darter, it says actually. My husband was with the militia. They did training exercises. It was common occurrence. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, I know. I've been aware of these things for years and years and years. Goes on. And Mighty Mouse 327 says, yes, bring back Jennifer. All right, we'll take a look at that. And Thog71 says, no trust until the perpetrators of the last military exercise we were forced to help with in 2019 with no consequences to any of the perpetrators prove to me they hate humanity. Yes, okay, I get it. Cops beating up a young 17-year-old at that fire, Rick. Oh, yeah. That's right. You did tell me about that. Raising wolves. Yeah, I know. That stuff does happen too. Right? Bad stuff goes on out there. I know. There's some bad cops and there's some good cops. But if you want to make sure that they're on your side, donuts. It's just simple. It's a cliche, but it's true. They're particularly partial to Tim Hortons. Because, well, in Canada, right? Yeah. In the States, I don't know what the preferred cop donut is. They probably, you know, if you wanted to set up a donut chain and have it to be really successful, you know, you need endorsements from the cops. That's what I would do. I would have cops endorsing my donuts. We would have contests. Could have contests, right? Anyway, just saying. Don't freak out, okay? That's all I'm saying. Don't freak out. It's fine. It's gonna be okay. All right, let's take another break. We'll come back on the other side.
Feel the vibrations. Our quest continues. The truth is out there. We are Mavericks.
Okay, I'm just checking on an update on the Trump trial today, so bear with me while I pull in the information here off this wire, and I will return right after this.
Maverick News. The world is watching.
All right, let's see what I've got here. So the Supreme Court was buzzing today, tackling some heavy hitters. We're talking about drone strikes, presidential bribes, a case dubbed for the ages. Yes, it's all happening at the highest court in the land. The big question on the table is former President Donald Trump untouchable, legally speaking, for his alleged shenanigans surrounding the 2020 presidential election? Well, the court spent a solid 2.5 hours hashing out the details. And while they seemed inclined to give Trump a reality check on his immunity hopes, there's a chance this whole affair could drag on past the upcoming election. Now, we'll break down some of the juiciest bits from today's courtroom drama. Justice Neil Gorsuch wasn't holding back, expressing concerns about political witch hunts, but hey, it's not every day you're writing a rule for the ages, as he put it. Other justices were equally grandiose, waxing poetic about the weight of the decision on the future of the presidency and the country itself. These are pretty high stakes, realistically speaking. But here's the kicker. Not a peep about the 2024 election. Nope, not even a whisper. Funny how the elephant in the room manages to stay quiet. But make no mistake, it's there. It's lurking in the shadows, folks. And let's not forget the nitty-gritty legal jargon. We're talking official acts versus private deeds, immunity clauses, you name it. The liberal justices seemed ready to push forward with the trial, while the conservative side was more sympathetic to Trump's plight. Chief Justice John Roberts even threw in a curveball about creating one-legged stools. Yeah, it kind of got weird. But hey, that's the Supreme Court for you in 2024. Always keeping us on our toes with hypotheticals about selling nuclear secrets and whatnot. But just another day in the life of the highest court in the land of the USA. Hypotheticals galore in there today. And we have Trump referring to this. We have a clip of Trump. Let me cue it up here for you. Responding to today's hearings. Let's bring it up here. So the U.S. Supreme Court had a monumental hearing on immunity, and the immunity having to do with presidential immunity. And that's the way it starts here with his comments exiting the courthouse. So let's bring up former President Donald Trump. And here we go.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. Today was breathtaking. This room, you saw what went on. It was breathtaking and amazing testimony. This is a trial that should have never happened. This is a case that should have never been filed, and it was really an incredible day. Open your eyes. And we can't let this continue to happen to our country. On another matter, you know, the economy has just been reported to be doing very badly. The stock market's way down, and some horrible numbers came out, including very high numbers on inflation, and in particular gasoline at $7.50 in California. That usually leads the way. It's going to happen here too. And very importantly, as you look at the various colleges all over the country and beyond colleges, because it's happening in other areas too. You see what's happening on the front having to do with Palestine and Israel and protests and hate, anger. Biden is sending an absolutely horrible message. Horrible, horrible message. He has no idea how to message. He can't speak. He can't put two sentences together. He doesn't know what to do. This is not our president. This is somebody that shouldn't be doing what he's doing because he can't do it. He can't do it well. We're having protests all over. He was talking about Charlottesville. Charlottesville was a little peanut And it was nothing compared, and the hate wasn't the kind of hate that you have here. This is tremendous hate, and we have a man that can't talk about it because he doesn't understand it. He doesn't understand what's going on with our country. He doesn't understand that all over the world we're being laughed at as a country because of him and his administration. And today I hear, because I was forced to be here, and I'm glad I was because it was a very interesting day in a certain way, but the U.S. Supreme Court had a monumental hearing on immunity, and the immunity having to do with presidential immunity. And I think it was made clear, I hope it was made clear, that a president has to have immunity. You don't have a president, or at most you can say it would be a ceremonial president. That's not what the founders had in mind. They're not talking about ceremonial. We want presidents that can get things done and bring people together. So I heard the meeting was quite amazing, and the justices were on their game. So let's see how that all turns out. But again, I say presidential immunity, very powerful. Presidential immunity is imperative, or you practically won't have a country anymore. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. Trump, what's your response to Arizona?
Game. So on to other news. This one's for Choosy, our good friend Choosy. Today is the 50th anniversary of the Carnation Revolution in Portugal. Choosy has called up many times and has spoken about this. Well, today, April 25th, back in 1974, when Portugal witnessed a bloodless coup, it forever altered its political landscape. Dubbed the Carnation Revolution, it was a remarkable display of people power, leading to the downfall of an authoritarian regime that had ruled for nearly half a century. This is what it looked like during some of the ceremonies held there to mark this occasion. You know, military personnel out in full color today, but really this is about not so much military force. It's really more about peace and a way to find change, facilitate change using peaceful, nonviolent protest. Oh, hang on a second here. One moment. Little glitch in the video. There we go. Bring it back up. So at the heart of the uprising was widespread dissatisfaction with the ruling government, the Estado Novo regime, led by Prime Minister Marcelo Caetano, which stifled political freedoms and perpetuated colonial wars in Africa. But on that fateful day, hope dawned as a group of military officers disillusioned with the regime's policies decided to take action. And I guess what they did is they took over radio stations, television stations, and so on. And as the nation awoke to this unprecedented display of military rebellion, the military rebelled against the government, but they didn't get violent. There was this atmosphere of uncertainty at first, and anticipation gripped the entire populace. But what set the Carnation Revolution apart was that it was remarkably peaceful. Instead of bullets and violence, the streets were flooded with a sea of people armed with a potent symbol, the carnation flower. Hang on just a moment. So the significance of the flower can't be overstated. As troops advanced, citizens offered them carnations, a gesture of peace and solidarity. And this powerful symbolism resonated deeply, transforming what could have been a violent clash into a jubilant celebration of freedom. By midday on that day, it became evident that the regime's grip on power was slipping away, and the Prime Minister, realizing the inevitability of defeat, surrendered to the MFA forces in a matter of hours. Decades of authoritarian rule crumbled like a house of cards, as Chuzi has so rightly pointed out on many occasions when calling in to the program during our call-in portions. And while many people might not listen very closely to what Chuzi has to say, sometimes I think he's the wisest guy in the room. It's just that a lot, you know, if you want to think something's a conspiracy theory, you can, but it's often just because you don't know what the other person is talking about, because you're just not aware or informed properly. Of course, the road to democracy hasn't been without its challenges. Portugal faced a period of uncertainty and political instability in the years that came after the Carnation Revolution, but in the spirit of that April 25th event, the country has endured, and that Carnation Revolution has continued to serve as a beacon of hope and resilience for other countries and for the generations that followed. The Carnation Revolution, a great moment in history, to be sure, and a whole lot better than a color revolution that generally ends in some sort of bloodshed. Now, to pay tribute to the Carnation Revolution and also to pay tribute to one of our favorite Mavericks, Sir Chuzi, I have produced this all-new chapter in the Maverick Knights graphic video series. Chuzi, this one, sir, is for you.
In the distant future, where technology and tyranny intertwined, a group of brave warriors known as the Maverick Knights fought tirelessly to protect the innocent from the clutches of evil. Equipped with state-of-the-art cyber knight suits, they were unstoppable forces, ready to challenge any oppressor that dared to threaten freedom. And on the Planet X, they were about to embark on their most audacious mission yet. Planet X was under the iron grip of a tyrannical communo-fascistic government led by the diabolical Dr. Destructo. For years, the inhabitants had suffered under his merciless rule, living in constant fear and oppression. But the Maverick Knights had a plan inspired by the historic Carnation Revolution in Portugal, that had taken place on Earth in the 1970s. Led by the charismatic and cunning Sir Chuzi, the Maverick Knights devised a strategy to initiate a peaceful Carnation Revolution on Planet X. Instead of resorting to violence, they would harness the power of personal freedoms and the indomitable spirit of the people. Their mission was to free the inhabitants from the clutches of the tyrant, restoring hope and prosperity to the planet. Under the cover of darkness, the Maverick Knights infiltrated the heart of Dr. Destructo's stronghold. Their cyber knight suits allowed them to move with unparalleled agility and stealth, avoiding detection by the ever-vigilant security systems. With each step, they could feel the weight of the planet's suffering on their shoulders, fueling their determination to succeed. They took over radio and TV stations and the internet to broadcast a message of peace to the planet. The inhabitants responded by greeting them in town squares with carnations and messages of gratitude, as Dr. Destructo resigned knowing he could not survive this bloodless coup of love and freedom. As they reached the central control room, Sir Chuzi activated the holocommunicator and relayed a message of success back to Sir Richard and the other Maverick Knights stationed on Earth. The message carried the hope and resilience of an entire planet, as Sir Chuzi spoke of the people's unwavering support for the revolution. The inhabitants of Planet X had joined forces, their voices united in a peaceful protest against the oppressive regime. News of the uprising spread like wildfire throughout the galaxy, inspiring other oppressed planets to rise up against their own tyrants. The Maverick Knights had ignited a spark of revolution that would burn brightly, a beacon of hope for all those who yearned for freedom. Back on Earth, Sir Richard and the other Maverick Knights listened intently to Sir Chuzi's message. Their hearts swelled with pride and determination, knowing that their comrades had achieved the impossible. They understood that the fight for freedom was not limited to a single planet, but a universal struggle that required their unwavering dedication. With renewed vigor, the Maverick Knights vowed to continue their mission, to protect the weak, and to challenge the wicked, knowing Planet X was just the beginning. The Knights of Malta were still an overarching force to be reckoned with. They remained the root cause of much of the evil in the universe. The Maverick Knights were the last line of defense against tyranny, the embodiment of hope in an otherwise bleak universe. And as they set out on their next mission, they carried with them the spirit of the Carnation Revolution, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the power of freedom and peaceful resistance guided by love and a thirst for freedom could conquer all.
Thank you, Chuzi, for showing us the way, my friend. Hang on, folks. I've got more coming up.
The information war is raging. Truth without integrity is worth nothing. Maverick News. Because those who have power and those who seek it must be held accountable.
The world is watching.
Join our family of truth seekers. Donate today and add your voice to the chorus of Maverick Knights. Donate at maverickdonations.com. Truth. Integrity. It's the Maverick way. Maverick News. The world is watching.
We are Mavericks. We say no to the Trudeau and Biden New World Order. And to bugs. Because bugs are creepy and gross. And people should not eat bugs. Maverick News. The world is watching.
Hey, no! To bugs!
Okay, so first a little more on the the negative stuff. MPP, Member of Provincial Parliament Sarah Jama, was asked to leave the Ontario Legislature for wearing, I call him a Keffiyeh. I know, it's just, I'm a Canadian, so my pronunciation is all messed up. I know it's not really accurate, but anyway, this is what happened in the legislature today. She was asked to leave the Legislative Assembly by House Speaker Ted Arnott because she was wearing her Keffiyeh, which I call it, and this is a garment that they've banned at Queen's Park. This is the provincial legislature in Ontario, Canada, for our U.S. viewers. And it starts off, the speaker says, Sarah Jama, you are named. You must leave the chamber. And this is because the speaker banned that garment because he says it is a political statement and it's controversial. The decision on this, the Premier and some members of provincial parliament asked the Speaker to reverse the decision. They had a vote. According to the rules of the House, in order for that decision made by the Speaker, which is a procedural thing, in order for that to be overturned, they would need a unanimous vote. When the vote was held, it was not unanimous, so the ban remains in place. And the purpose of the Speaker doing something like this and is generally to maintain civility and decorum and make sure that proper etiquette is followed in the House to keep everything running smoothly. A lot of people disagree with it, obviously, because of the volatile political nature of this. Anyway, let's bring this up and show you what happened today in the House. Here we go.
It's long been the established practice of this House that members should not use props, signage, or accessories that are intended to express a political message or are likely to cause disorder. This also extends to members' attire where logos, symbols, slogans, and other political messaging are not permitted. This legislature is a forum for debate, and the expectation in the chamber is that political statements should be made during debate rather than through the use of props or symbols. I'm going to ask the member for Hamilton Centre to come to order. I must warn the member for Hamilton Centre. Sarah Janma, you are named. You must leave the chamber. The member is currently not eligible to be recognized in the House pursuant to the Order of the House adopted October 23, 2023. As a result of being named, the member for the remainder of the day is ineligible to vote on matters before the Assembly, attend and participate in any committee proceedings, use the media studio, and table notices of motion, written questions, and petitions.
Audio muted for a moment here. It's not over.
Start the clock. I'll recognize the leader. No, we're not doing point of order during question period. I apologize. But you have an opportunity to place a supplementary question. I recognize the Leader of the Opposition.
I'd like to ask for unanimous consent, Speaker, from the opposite members opposite. I find it, okay, I'm going to make this a supplementary. I'll make this question to the House Leader. Speaker, this is outrageous that we are seeing one of our members removed from...
Yeah, that's not the same subject as the original question.
Next question then.
One moment. Still not over. Oh, you can cut the tension with a knife in the air, can't you? Yeah. That is the way it went down. The Keffiyeh ban in the Ontario Legislature. So you can look at that a couple of different ways. I'm interested to know what you guys are thinking about this. I'm going to look in the comments section. What do you guys think? Should they uphold that ban or rescind it? Or maybe even just tell me, do you think that the ban will hold? Or do you think the speaker will come under pressure, enough pressure, so much pressure, that the ban will be gone? And Linda Darter says, need to show respect for our country and our laws. Be lovely one, that's how much they have taken over, it says. Canadians are nice people. David Doyle says, bravo. Esky. Rosie 6046 says, terrorist organization. I'm reading in the Rumble chat, which you can't see on the screen. And Grim Reaper, take out and don't let her return. And Decipher Loop says, how does Quebec deal with this? Don't know. I don't recall. And Rosemary Mack says, what about the hijab? We'll go back to the YouTube comments here. Cabo Gal says, uh-oh, banned. Julie Bean says, clowns. Cabo Gal says, get back to work. And Cabo Gal says, how about musical theater for a change? Well, you know what? I've got some of that coming up. As a matter of fact, musical theater of sorts, which I think you're really going to like, and that'll be right after this. Isabel says, the need to uphold the ban, it was in place before changing. It is not Canada. And Sandy says, Canadians care, good people most of the time. Yeah. And Dino Paul says, Canada has no government, even Supreme Court of Governor General. Roman Catholic cannot hold office. Ask Richard Wagner, RC. No Governor General sworn in by no Chief Justice. Is there, and here's a question for you, Dino. Is there any government that is legitimate? And if so, which one? That's what I want to know. I hear that Canada has no government from some people. So tell me, which country has a legitimate government? And why? Yeah, but that's not answering the question. It's a question. I'm just curious. So, is there any government anywhere that is legit? Anyone? Dino says, no, man-made. Okay, so if we don't have a government, if there's no legitimate government, then how do we maintain order? If there's no legitimate government anywhere in the world, how do we maintain order and keep our systems in place? Blah, blah, blah. Corporation of USA is de facto. Blah, 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 blah. What does that even mean? Isabel says, yes, my house. Yeah. Well, I wanted to buy an island and to declare my own government there. Corporations took over. Took over what? What is it that they took over? Who says that a government is legit? what is it that makes a government legitimate? Who says what the law is? Who gets the mandate? No man, no government says, or court. Well, then you've got anarchy, right? So how do you maintain order? How do you get peace? How do you resolve disputes between people? How do you engage in, the building of a country? Who pays for the roads? How do you establish a system? All right, but Jilly Bean, that doesn't answer the question. I want to know, since people keep saying there's no legitimate government, well, which country is legit? And I just heard from you guys that there's no such thing as a legitimate government. So if there's no legit government anywhere, how do you, what do we get instead? You guys think about it. Maybe we'll have a bigger discussion. I've tried to talk about this in the past, right? These are very legitimate questions because this is the stuff that keeps coming up over and over and over again. And I see people, they keep saying, well, we gotta do whatever to our government. People want to get rid of it. I want to know what's coming on the other side. And what is it that makes that government legit? The guy that I was talking about, you know who I'm talking about, who was talking about doing stuff and was talking about Muammar Gaddafi. Tell him I can't message him anymore because I don't have Facebook. So tell him that I would like to talk to him. Because some of you, I'm sure, have contact with him. Tell him I want to talk to him. I'll have him on the program. We can have a discussion about it. So I really want to know, because this is a guy who has a vision for a completely different system, whatever that system is, and I hear mixed messages from him, so I'd really like to know. So let's get him on, and we'll have that discussion. Probably shouldn't do it, but I will. Law of War Manual. Yeah, well, there you go. It's the law of the jungle, right? Is that what you want? Thank you. So Cabo Gal says, I'll let him know. Cool. Let's get him on. We'll have this discussion. Keeps talking about it, and let's talk about it. We'll have a discussion about that. Yeah. You talked about musical theater too. I want to leave you guys with something really positive tonight. I just stumbled on this. This is Haley. Haley is entering a talent contest. I just happened to click on this today, and it blew me away because it was just so good. Let me find what it is that I want to share with you tonight. So fantastic. Here she is. Here's Haley. Haley's from Teeswater, Ontario. Haley is entering, I believe it's the North of Nowhere Talent Contest. This is her video audition, and you can vote for Haley. You can vote for any of the people in the North of Nowhere Talent Contest. There she is. And I wanted to share this with you tonight because as soon as I saw this and I started to listen, she just had me glued to the screen and my ears glued to her music. Let's listen.
My name's Haley McNeil. I'm a singer-songwriter from Teeswater, Ontario, and this is my audition for the North of Nowhere Emerging Artist Showcase. I'm going to be singing a cover of Lainey Wilson's song, Heart Like a Truck. I hope you like it. I never stay in one place too long. A dirt road singing me a siren song. I gotta find a field. I need to spin my wheels. I got a hankering for 4 wide tires, and I can't help, it's the way I'm wired. Before you get too close, boy, you need to know. I got a heart like a truck. It's been drugged through the mud. Runs on dreams and gasoline. And that old highway holds a key. It's got a lead foot down when it's leaving. Lord knows it's taking a hell of a beating. A little bit of love is all that is needed. But it's good as it is tough. I got a heart like a truck. There ain't no breaking when I throw it in drive. Don't always keep it in between the lines. If you're ready for a ride, pedal down, state of mind. Boy, I'll tell you what, you better buckle up. I got a heart like a truck. It's been drugged through the mud. Runs on dreams and gasoline. And that old highway holds a key. It's got a lead foot down when it's leaving. Lord knows it's taking a hell of a beating. A little bit of love is all that is needed. But it's good as it is tough. I got a heart like a truck. Boy, I just hope you can knock off the dust, yeah. Shine it up, rev it up, and let it run, yeah. It gets it high, riding off into the sun, yeah. I got a heart like a truck. It's been drugged through the mud. Runs on dreams and gasoline. And that old highway holds a key. It's got a lead foot down when it's leaving. Lord knows it's taking a hell of a beating. A little bit of love is all that is needed. But it's good as it is tough. I got a heart like a truck. Boy, I just hope you can knock off the dust, yeah. Shine it up, rev it up, and let it run, yeah. It gets it high, riding off into the sun, yeah. It gets it high, riding off into the sun. Thank you.
Wow. I thought that was fantastic. Good luck, Haley. Love your music. Love you guys too. See you back here tomorrow. Same station, same time. On the flip side.
This has been a Maverick Multimedia production.